You know, there's this really weird paradox at the heart of finance. It's a world that's supposed to be all about math and logic and spreadsheets, but our decisions in that world, they're often driven by anything but. So let's get into why that is. I mean, seriously, why do people who win these life-changing, incredible sums of money so often end up right back where they started, or sometimes even worse off? And what about this? Why do people with genius-level IQs, people who know all the theories and all the right moves, suddenly sell everything in a panic right at the bottom of a market crash? Which brings us to the biggest question of all. Why does this world of cold, hard numbers create so much fear and envy and greed and regret inside of us? Well, the answer isn't buried in some complex financial model. Nope, it's much closer to home. It's in your head. The secret isn't about being better at math. It's about understanding human behavior, and most importantly, your own. And that's exactly what we're going to unpack. Okay, so let's start with the first and maybe the biggest mistake we all make, assuming that everyone thinks about money in the same way. We don't. Not even close.
Your view of money wasn't really formed in a classroom or from a textbook. It was shaped by where you grew up, by the conversations, or the silence, your parents had about it, and whether you experienced abundance or scarcity firsthand.
So just take a look at these two perspectives. Both are perfectly logical, right? But they lead to completely opposite conclusions. Someone who grew up seeing their family wiped out by a recession thinks avoiding risk is the only sane choice. But then you have someone who grew up during a massive economic boom, and for them, taking big risks is the obvious, exciting path to success. The crazy part is, neither of them is wrong. They're just living by the lessons their different experiences taught them.
And that really gets to the core of this idea. We don't make financial decisions based on raw data alone. We make them based on the stories, the fears, and the memories that we all carry around with us.
But okay, it's not just about our personal stories. There are these two other forces, these two silent partners that are involved in every single financial outcome. We love to celebrate hard work and intelligence, and we should, but we often totally ignore the massive roles of pure dumb luck and its evil twin, risk. I mean, think about it. We see the one billionaire who dropped out of college, but we don't see the thousands of other people who tried the exact same thing and just vanished. Now, the lesson isn't that hard work doesn't matter. Of course it does. It's that outcomes aren't always perfectly fair, and a little humility goes a very, very long way.
So while you can't control luck, you can absolutely control how long you stay in the game. And that simple idea unleashes the single most powerful and probably the most misunderstood force in all of finance.
And that, of course, is compounding. Now here's the thing. In the beginning, it's incredibly boring. I mean, you're just earning a little bit on a little bit. You can barely see anything happen, and this is where most people get impatient and just give up. But the real secret isn't earning massive returns. It's giving your money an uninterrupted, very long time to grow on itself. That explosive overnight magic only really happens decades later. So if time is the key ingredient, what's the skill we need to harness it? Well, surprisingly, it's not about doing more stuff. It's about having the discipline to do, well, a lot less. Building wealth has way less to do with how smart you are, your IQ, and everything to do with how you behave, your temperament, your EQ. It's not about knowing what to do. It's about controlling your emotions so you can actually do it when you're feeling scared or greedy. So just think about it for a second. Can you really handle that discomfort? Can you avoid hitting the panic button when everyone around you is screaming to sell? And maybe just as important, can you resist the urge to go all in when things feel a little too good to be true? Because that right there, that is the ultimate financial superpower. Most people lose money not because they make the wrong decisions, but simply because they can't sit still. Boring, patient behavior, it almost always wins in the long run. Okay, this brings us to our final and maybe the most important idea of all. What is the actual goal of all this? The answer might really change how you see everything. The most dangerous thing in finance is the endless desire for more. Without a personal sense of enough, you'll always keep moving the goalposts. You'll take risks you don't need to take, often for things you don't even really want. Knowing when to stop isn't giving up. It's a critical survival skill. And this is where we confuse being rich with being wealthy. They are not the same thing. Being rich is easy to see. It's the fancy car, the big house, the expensive watch. It's loud. It's about spending money to show other people how much money you have. But wealth is invisible. It's the money you haven't spent. It's the assets in your portfolio, the investments that are quietly compounding in the background. Wealth isn't loud, it's quiet. And ultimately, it is freedom.
And that's the ultimate prize, isn't it? True wealth gives you the freedom to control your time, the freedom to wake up in the morning and say, you know what, I can do whatever I want today. It's about having the option to say no, to wait, and to walk away.
So in the end, mastering money isn't really about mastering the markets. It's about mastering your own emotions, your own biases, and your own behaviors. The greatest returns you will ever get, they don't come from a stock tip. They come from self-awareness.